it hanging, bleacher creature?
I wanted to ask you about something else.
Shoot!
Got any work?
Whoa, whoa! Slow down there, Turbo. Let's have that dinner with the gang first. You never know what might materialize once they get to know you.
Don't need anything today.
Rock on.
Here to trade, relax, or do you have some questions?
Can I ask you something?
Sure. What would you like to know about? I can talk about my work forever.
I wanted to ask you about something else. I wanted to ask you about something. What is this place?
A greenhouse?
Sure. That's all for now, thanks.
That's a shame.
I don't have any more questions. Can I ask you some questions?
What did you want to know?
What's your take on Diamond City?
I love it here. I have a lab, a clean bed, a shower, but something tells...
What's the word around town?
Well, that's a bit complicated, but Piper would be the one to talk to. She's got her finger on the pulse of the city, so to speak. People are very... Mayor McDonough.
That's all for now, thanks. Don't need anything today.
If you come across any...
Hey,
Welcome back. Wait, you're not here because you're coughing.
let's get down to business.
You get right to the point, don't you? Okay, then. Let's try to come to some sort of agreement.
Can I ask you some questions?
Depends on the question, I suppose. What did you want to know?
That's all for now, thanks. Let's get down to business.
You get right to the point.
Got any work?
Did Lily give you the dinner invite yet? No matter. I'm sure she will. Why don't we talk after dinner? I'm still waiting on a test result.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
What's your take on Diamond City?
I love it here. I have a but something tells...
What's the word around town?
Well, that's a... People are very... Mayor McDonough...
Uh-huh. Heard any rumors about how folks are feeling around?
I wish someone would fix Takahashi.
Heard any rumors about how folks...
The only thing saving... He's done far more.
What's the word around town?
Well, that's a bit complicated. People are very worried about the Institute right now, and rightly so. It's very real, and so are the kidnappings. I've seen replicates myself. Mayor McDonough doesn't seem particularly interested in stopping the Institute either, which just adds to the paranoia he's one of them.
What's the security like around here?
I'll have to admit, they're not great at conversation, but the sheriff's department has kept us very safe since their inception. The sheriff is an outcast. I'm told she worked. She took the city. They established a perimeter. I sleep very well.
That's all for now, thanks. That's all for now, thanks.
Let's get down to business.
You get right to the point, don't you? Okay then, let's try to come to some sort of agreement.
What have you got for sale?
Let me know if you scav any large chemical batches out there. I might buy them.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Centerfield greenhouse. Can I help you with something?
What rumors have you heard?
Professor Scaris says she found plant. She is open with her research.
Sure. Can I ask some questions?
Sure. What would you like to know about? I can talk about my work forever.
What is this place?
A greenhouse.
It would be nice to know more about you.
Not much to tell. I'm from Vault 81. I love my work, and I use the emergency shower to stay clean.
You seem awfully proud of this lab.
I am very proud. Both Diamond City. I really like it here.
Uh-huh. How'd you end up here?
That's a long story. She's a formidable. She respected my vines grew. That's pretty. Luckily, Dr. Penn, the vault still has things.
Sure. What type of doctor are you?
Fancy people would say, as one of the few vault, all the courses in my research defense.
That's all for now, thanks.
What's the story with this place?
I helped build it, so I said.
You own this place?
In as much as any settler owns an unoccupied piece of I own this greenhouse. The city, citizen, it's better than a 200.
The water?
Ugh. Shane Kowalski's Scara helped me design. Luckily, most of them. Abbott, the Bob.
I wanted to ask you about something else. So, is this your life's work?
Every bit of it.
You'll have to explain what's going on.
Oh, of course. I don't get to teach biology lessons very often. Dr. Pensky always said, the best way to learn is to teach.
Biology lesson?
Yes, a biology lesson. I'm so glad you asked for one. Plants don't react to chromosomal aberrations the same way animals do. They're quite tolerant of them and can react in surprising ways. Take the fern flower, for instance. Before the war, a flowering fern didn't exist. A fern isn't an angiosperm. It evolved long before flowers. This massive level of genetic change in only 200 years required the radiation from the war to catalyze it. Furthermore, this genetic change cannot be achieved simply by a Hox gene activation, like restoring ancient genes for teeth in chickens. The fern evolved before flowers. There was no genetic information of the flowering life cycle in its genome to reactivate in the first place. Where did this information come from? The simplest explanation would be horizontal gene transfer, but that's too much genetic information. How did the fern then come to possess its flower? That's one of the questions I'm trying to answer.
How would something like that even work?
Given the high levels of ambient ionizing radiation in the world these days, I cannot rule out an entirely new mechanism for genetic recombination. I'm testing my new theory that perhaps there's yet another life cycle involved. That of a fungus. Fungal reproduction is very odd indeed. During sexual reproduction, the nuclei of two organisms share cells, nutrients, and grow in the same body. But they remain distinctly genetically separate until sporulation. They share the same body, but are two different genomes. I'm also trying to reproduce these sorts of gross changes in morphology, physiology, and life cycle in this greenhouse, with some success. I believe I'm harnessing that mechanism on my bioluminescent vines. As you can see, the same vines clearly display more than one species and color of flower. They're beautiful, but one day I hope to grow many types of food from a single vine. Food security for the Commonwealth is my real motivation.
Nice. That sounds pretty high tech.
What are you trying to do?
My first projects under I cultivated them. They mutated with sharp eyes.
How did you know that?
The few I hypothesized it was later I was to find their tendrils would intertwine. About that time I had to. It became more work to cut them back every week from out. Unfortunately, that was until
How did you discover that?
I saw flower buds. Honestly, the blight discovery was serendipity. I got lucky. But chance favors the prepared mind, no? I hypothesized something in the part of a fungal light. Yet, until the moment, I'm currently testing if I can isolate.
That's amazing. Do you have any more details?
Oh, of course. I don't get to teach biology lessons very often. Dr. Pensky always said, the best way to learn is to teach.
Biology lesson?
Yes, a biology. Plants don't react to chromosomal take. This where did this how given the high level I'm fungal, but they remain they're beautiful.
Nice.
What do you grow here?
Mostly plants for my research. If the flower they grow rapidly. Look at it is, isn't it? Before, the glow was hard from that one corner. The next
You've got technology here that I never dreamed possible.
mostly
Sure.
if the flower they look at the supplement. It is before from that one the next flower.
I wanted to ask you about something. What's the story with this?
I helped.
Who built this place originally? Has it been here long?
That's a good question. But when Abbott opened, Mr. Doctor, it was expensive. I honestly, I've got my own. I could see myself calling this.
I wanted to ask you about.
I don't have any more questions.
That's a shame.
That's all for now, thanks.
Any good gossip flying around?
That robotic armor. Mo regrets.
Let's get down to business.
You get right to the point.
Right. Got any work?
Did Lily give you the dinner?
What have you got for sale?
Fresh harvest just this. Or do you have some questions?
Don't walk outside the wall undefended. High quality protection for sale.
Don't touch the paint.
What? Why?
This is the Wall. The great green guardian that keeps out the bad guys. No one's broken through the Wall. Never. Least we can do for her in return is keep her looking pristine. Thinking you need a little education. Maybe a bit of community service. What do you say?
What do you need done?
You see this paint I'm using? Only one place left in the whole Commonwealth you can get it. Hardware Town. Ruined store close by to the west. Bring back a can of paint and it'll be 100 caps in your pocket. How's that sound?
Only if you throw in some more money.
A good Samaritan does the work without nitpicking the details. 100 caps, no more.
What can you tell me about Hardware Town?
Raiders moved in a ways back. Security says they can't handle them. That's why I'm running low. So, you still up for it?
Paint retrieval. I'm on it.
Much obliged.
Don't let down the home team. Buy a swatter.
Need some custom hardware? Look, I'm telling you, it ain't just a store. University Point.
We the public can be prepared. Somebody please help! She's hurt! She's going to die! She needs help! Hurry! She's in here! Please help! She's right back here! Hurry!
Hey! I told you to bring them into the basement. Shut up! They're headed this way now. Be ready.
Blue, I don't like this.
What is taking so long? I don't know. Maybe you should go check it out.
You don't think I will?
Tired of sitting on my ass anyway.
What's the point of hiding back here? Why the hell don't we just shoot them in the head the second they step through the door?
Who's there? I got all day.
Did they?
Won't be able to pick this. There we go.
Luck finding anything?
Feral ghouls like to hide in the dark. Makes night patrol real breathless. Head on inside.
Swatters, right here. Their skull bashes in the Commonwealth.
You're back. You find that paint?
What if I couldn't find any green paint? What happens?
People wouldn't be happy. It's the Great Green Guardian, after all. Tradition and such. But if it's between a new color and letting the wall go into disrepair, I'd know what I'd choose. So, did you find anything?
Wasn't easy, but I found some, yeah.
Now that's damn fine news. Why don't you go ahead and paint the first stroke? Let's see how the shade matches up.
Working hard?
That's a good shade of green. The wall sure seems happy with it.
You think that's enough paint to last you?
Should be enough for a good coat or two. That'll have to do for now. There's your payment, and a little bonus for getting the right shade of green. Don't do anything with it I wouldn't do.
I'm glad we did this. The wall is important to a lot of people here, Blue.
I'm sorry, too many late-hour customers forced me into a business schedule. Catch me in my greenhouse during my business hours, 7 to 6.
latest hairstyles from the upper stage.
Head on inside.
Let's do this!
They're still here. Somewhere. Watch out. Not hiding. You're all bravado and no brains, aren't you?
Come on! Who's there?
Real bad move.
Over here!
Think he'll be any different? You made a mistake. Now you pay for it. Now, don't... But you can't finish! You're not...
Let's do this!
I showed them.
Here's something.
That concludes this round. Kate is the undisputed winner! And who's this? Come on down where we can see ya!
That's it.
Don't be nervous. We just want to meet ya!
Something's out there.
Spread out! Find him! Move up! Get
Bad idea. Now where'd they get to? Me anyway.
Yeah, do it again.
ain't scared yet!
Don't you die on me!
Now!
Wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
Why do they always...
Always suspected they'd look better that way. Hey, who said you could hide? Back for more, huh? Hope you made your peace. Just getting warmed up over here.
You think they're done out there?
We don't want any trouble.
Not anymore, at least.
Oh, just peek your head up, you damn coward.
The heck with that. I'm too pretty to go out like this.
Animals on either side of this cage.
Is it over? Well, that could have gone worse.
I dunno.
Seemed quite the performance from where I was standing.
Are you fucking high or something? Why am I asking? Of course you are.
Still won the fight, didn't I?
You're strung out and getting sloppy, is what you are. Of course, I suppose you ain't gotta worry about that now. Seems this one just put us out of business. I'm not sure if I should kiss you or have my little bird here feed you your own entrails.
I told you to quit calling me that.
What is this place?
Not from around here, huh? This is the combat zone. Finest arena in the Commonwealth. Kate here's the headliner. 100+ matches, undefeated. We used to serve a more legit clientele. But about 2 years ago, a gang of raiders rolled in and we became a more exclusive establishment. Up until you took our entire client base out of the gene pool and put us out of business, that is.
I saved your lives. You should be grateful.
Grateful? For killing our meal ticket. Excuse me if I don't rush to embrace our savior. They weren't the friendliest bunch, but keeping those idiots entertained at least kept the lights on.
To hell with them. More'll come. Just need a quick breather and I'll be ready to go.
A breather? What? So you can slam more of that junk into your arm? No, you know what? I think this was a blessing in disguise. You caught the end of that bout. What'd you think of Kate's work?
Why do you ask?
Consider it professional curiosity. Now, what'd you think of the fight?
I've seen better.
Ha! Like hell you have.
And while she's still armed and within closing distance, you are a brave one, aren't you? So here's my predicament. I suddenly got no audience. No audience means I got no caps coming in. And if you ain't bringing in caps, little bird, you ain't an asset. You're a liability to me and to yourself. So, here's what I'm thinking. What say I let you take over her contract? She goes with you, watches your back. Look, you'd be doing me a favor while I try to get the place back in order. What do you say?
Me? And him?
Why would you want her to go with me?
Yeah, Tommy. Just why the hell you trying to get rid of me?
Look, truth is, all that junk, it's been making you careless. And I don't want to be the one doing color commentary when you finally hit the floor. All right? So just do me this favor. Both of you. Please.
Not interested.
Shame. I usually got a pretty good sense for matchups. How about we say you'll think about it? You change your mind, we'll be here. You'd still be game, wouldn't you, little bird?
If it means not having to put up with you, he can't come back soon enough.
Good. Then it's settled. You decide you want to be paired with the best. You're welcome, anytime. Maybe we'll have the place cleaned up by then. Bring in a less bloodthirsty clientele. And here, the purse from the last fight. Consider it a retainer.
You change your mind, you come find me.
Hey, Kate.
So, you're ready to head out?
That depends. How are you feeling?
I dunno. Feeling kinda useless sitting here with me thumb up me arse. So, are you ready to get this show on the road?
I just want to trade a few things.
What am I? A bank?
Kate.
So, you're ready to head out?
Not now.
Have it your way.
Ah, the combat zone. No finer place to get murdered in all the Commonwealth.
What? Who's there?
You're mine now, rookie!
What?
Let's do this.
Nat.
Hey, mister, that interview you did with Piper is really selling. Here's your free copy.
Certainly seen better days, hasn't it?
Need this paper. Everything on the Institute, the public needs to know. Not getting any younger here.
The wall's sure looking good lately. Guess I haven't found some more paint.
Good day to you, sir.
Here to trade, relax, or do you have some questions?
Let's get down to business.
You get right to the point, don't you? Okay then, let's try to come to some sort of agreement.
Got any work?
Did Lily give you the dinner invite yet? No matter, I'm sure she will. Why don't we talk after dinner? I'm still waiting on a test result.
Can I ask you some questions?
What did you want to know?
I wanted to ask you about something else. Who are the Brotherhood of Steel?
I've never met one. From what I'm told of their hierarchy in society, they must have a high coefficient of inbreeding. From what I know, they're little better than very successful gunners who sleep with their cousins and won't kill you if you give them what they want. The sheriff used to be one of them, but she went AWOL with her squad for reasons that aren't mine to discuss. She knows Latin, advanced military strategy, and has her finger on the pulse of her troops, making her a formidable commander. Brotherhood education has to be top-notch, if nothing else, but the tribalism they exhibit is antithetical to their stated purpose of saving humanity.
What can you tell me about the Institute?
They make no sense, and that frightens me. What are they trying to do by replacing us? Surely they can march over this city with a robot army. But they just replace us with sterile copies that can snap at any second. I agree that McDonough is one of them, but why replace any of us at all? I can't extrapolate any sort of logic from synth replacements. Nobody benefits, opinion is only solidified against them, and no agenda is advanced. That's what truly scares me about the Institute. Stunning technology aside, I can't figure out their fundamental motivation. Both the sheriff and I spend long hours Apologies. You'll forgive me, but I shouldn't be talking about such things with outsiders, of course.
Tell me about the Minutemen.
I like the idea of the Minutemen. From what I'm told, they were once a force to be reckoned with, and allied closely to Diamond City. Times are different now. They seem to be the punchline of a joke about what happens when you stick your neck out for the Commonwealth. I heard they were effectively wiped out in Quincy by the Gunners not long ago. A sad end, really. The good side does not always win, it seems.
I wanted to ask you about something else. What is this place?
A greenhouse. A lab.
Uh-huh. So, is this your life's work?
Every bit of it. I've got so much going on, I don't know where to start. And I never shut up about it, so ask at your own peril.
Do you have any more details?
Oh, of course. I don't get to teach biology lessons very often. Dr. Pensky always said, the best way to learn is to teach.
Biology lesson?
Yes, a biology lesson. I'm so glad you asked for one. Plants don't react to chromosomal aberrations the same way animals do. Take the fern flower, this massive... Furthermore, this genetic change, the fern evolved... Where did this information... How did the fern...
How would something like that even work?
Given the high level, I'm testing my new fungal reproduction, but they remained... I'm also trying... I believe I'm hard. They're beautiful.
Nice. That's... I wanted to ask you about something else. So, is this your life?
Every bit of it. I've got so much...
I wanted to ask you about something. I don't have any more questions.
That's a shame. My babbling about science.
That's all for now, thanks. Any good gossip flying around?
I heard that an old Slocum's Joe in Lexington was overrun by the...
What rumors have you heard?
Wellingham stopped by wanting to buy honey a bit ago. Twisted Mr. almost dismantled him. I think Mr. Dr. Pepper programmed that in himself. Lily said the Codmans enjoyed making his life miserable as a child, so I guess it's understandable he's a bit territorial about the diner.
Let's get down to business.
You get right to the point, don't you? Okay then, let's try to come to some sort of agreement.
Got any work?
Did Lily give you the dinner invite yet?
Got any work?
Did Lily give you the dinner invite yet? No matter. I'm sure she will. Why don't we talk after dinner? I'm still waiting on a test result.
Show me what you got.
Let me know if you want to sell some of your...
Just buy or sell whatever you need and get lost.
What's up?
Hello again. Good to see you.
Hi there.
So, welcome to our, well, whatever you want to call this little weekly thing we have going on here. We just call it dinner. What do you have to say? DP outdid himself this time with this setting. It's usually just the four of us at a booth. Mom's spaghetti smells amazing.
Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it kind of started as a bored DP talking to me while I ate and he swept the floors after dinner in the evening. Like a lot of Bleachers family things in here go, it didn't really start in earnest until Lily swept into this place on our lives.
She's clearly talented.
That's one way to put it. Yeah, she's something else, isn't she? She grew up in Diamond City with Zeke and DP. I'm sure she told you that already. But the Bleachers district didn't exist back then. Nobody had been in this area of Diamond City in almost 2 centuries until DP chased that cat in here. So Lily's really taken the Bleachers to heart. Between runs, more often than not, she's cleaning the place and making it into a home. But I digress. I guess I'm just saying Lily makes sure these dinners happen and we're glad for it. She says there's nothing like the family you choose. Even got it in her head to invite the sheriff one day as a joke. And she showed up. She almost never says anything, but she keeps coming. Huh.
Really?
Uh-huh. We never expected her to show. DP even had to scramble to get a place set. The look on Lily's face was priceless. Total shock. Glad she did show up, though. We had been trying to crack that ice for a while now, and she's not the friendliest person in the Commonwealth. The sheriff isn't the type for idle chat, even on these nights, but I can see she values them as much as the rest of us, or she wouldn't keep coming.
She seems a bit rough around the edges, but nothing that would interfere with her duties.
Quite the contrary. It helps her maintain an effective force. She's very respected by her troops and a brilliant strategist. She was born and raised Brotherhood of Steel, educated and trained in the pre-war military academy tradition, if what I heard is true.
What happened?
She didn't see eye to eye with some of their more authoritarian tendencies, and tried to help a town that had water filter tech the gunners wanted. I'm told her squad repelled them, but she lost her whole arm, 4 knights, and some civilian militia by the time it was over. It was very intense. Costly victory for no strategic gain is the gist of what the Brotherhood of Steel had to say about her decision. She told me herself they made her a scribe and refused to replace the arm.
Sounds like a typical boss to me.
That's not the half of it. Her entire squad got punished too, every last one of them, bumped down to scribes, for saving some innocent lives. So they did what any principled and strategically minded squad would do in that situation.
What did she do?
Loaded 2 vertibirds up with a small plasma arsenal and over a dozen full T-60 power armor units in the middle of the night and deserted the Brotherhood of Steel.
No way.
Yep. They stayed under the Brotherhood of Steel radar until they were able to locate the Outcasts, a faction of ex-Brotherhood knights who also weren't fans of fascism. She gave them the vertibirds, they gave her an arm and her squad a home and a purpose again. It was a win-win.
What happened after that?
You mean what happened to the dozen or so T-60s she took with her, right? That's some pretty valuable cargo. That gets into how she and the power armor ended up here. That's a long story for another time, and not a particularly happy one.
Another time, maybe.
Anyway, Lily told me about how you guys went out and saved those dogs. That's pretty amazing. Anyone would do that in this day and age. People barely help each other, much less dogs. It makes me glad to know they'll be running around the Adam Cat's garage now.
I'm glad I could help out.
Speaking of doing odd jobs for people, I had a chance to analyze some soil test results, and I've got some work if you're still interested. I'd normally send Lily, but she'll be on that ammonia run that has that motorcycle salvage at the loading dock of Mass Chem we mentioned earlier. We can talk about it after dinner.
Sure thing.
It's good you showed up when you did. I'd rather not lean so heavily on Lily for my transport jobs. She spends a lot of time on the road already. Good evening, Sheriff. Can I safely assume Lily pestered you today while on duty to tell you about our guest of honor here?
She wouldn't be Lily if she hadn't.
Yes. Well, this is the person that helped her with that motorcycle and the dogs in that story she's no doubt told you a dozen times by now.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
Yes. Well, DP has cooked up something special tonight, as you can see. We've got razor green spaghetti, tato sauce, and warm bread.
I'm sure it will be fine.
So, did you get a chance to see Dr. Scara about your shoulder? You mentioned the adduction was slower than usual last week.
Yes.
And?
And what?
And what was the problem? Was she able to fix it?
Yes. We hunted down an assaultron, quartered it with a ripper, and I replaced the glenohumeral joint entirely.
That's, good, I suppose.
The gunner squad it came from would argue, if they were still alive.
I assume they didn't just want to give a perfectly functional assaultron to a stranger for free, did they?
You don't ask gunners.
Good point.
I guess it all worked out.
Yes.
Did you read Piper's article about McDonough?
Yes.
And?
And what?
And what do you think of it? Do you think he's a simp?
Hard to say. Maybe.
Dr. Pensky told me never attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by stupidity. Do you think one can be so witless that their unwitting cooperation is so gross and negligent that it can appear to be collusion to an outsider?
Or incompetence.
Well, yes. In this case, incompetence would apply too. I suppose it is possible the witless can be such an unwitting puppet of a hostile power that it can appear like full cooperation.
Witless, huh? Let me guess which stable genius in a tan suit we're talking about here. How's it hanging, bleacher creatures? Oh man, that's gonna be some good dinner. Hey there! Hey, I'm glad you made it out here tonight. Wasn't sure you'd be up for it since it's such a long haul back from the Atom Cat's garage.
Of course. I'm all yours.
All I'm looking to do is feed you and tell everyone about those doggos we saved.
Again.
It only gets better with practice.
At any rate, yes, Lily, we were talking about Piper's article on McDonough.
That overgrown windbag's a synth, I'm telling you. Or wandering around, doing exactly jack shit up there all day, talking about how busy he is. Unbelievable. You know it's true, Sheriff. You've seen it. I tell you what, why don't you march up there in your power armor and throw him off the balcony? Do us all a favor.
We've been over this, Lily.
Every week we do this, sis. You know what she's gonna tell you.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't do military coups.
He hasn't actually committed any crimes. It's up to us at the ballot box.
Or, you know, in the dead of night with a sharp blade across the throat?
Then we're no better than the Brotherhood.
It's not that easy, and you know it. The sheriff can't just go in there and do what she wants. He's got rights until it's proven he's a sin.
It makes me so mad. He's not just doing nothing. He's standing in the way of anyone else trying to do something.
Temper.
Well, what happens when it's one of us that gets kidnapped, huh? What in the goddamn hell does the Institute want with us anyway?
Are people really that scared of the Institute?
Scared, confused, angry, hostile, suspicious, whatever they're feeling about it at the particular time. It's not good.
You're the scientist. Why the hell are they replacing us? This obviously isn't a PR campaign. We just end up hating them and since more. They can swarm over this city at any friggin' time with those fucking toasters of theirs, and McDonough will probably open the door for them. Makes no goddamn sense.
I agree, they make no sense. I can't figure out a motivation that squares with the actions they take as a whole. Neither can the sheriff. It's almost like the kidnappings were a poorly thought out plot device wedged into a nebulous story by someone who thought it would just work. It would be comical if they weren't an existential threat.
Who really knows what the Institute is responsible for?
You must be new here. Let me clarify. Just about everyone in the Commonwealth knows what they're responsible for, which is the primary reason we've been
That's enough.
Of course. That was careless of me. Apologies.
Have we got a plan B?
As you just heard, I'm not at liberty to discuss Plan B. The less you know, the safer you are from the Institute.
You know, I heard they got a brain sucker device. Suck what you know right out of there. Read it like a book.
I said that's enough.
Button it up now, Lily.
Right now, we've got to stick to Piper's unofficial strategy. We delegitimize McDonough and then get him out of office.
God damn it! But we gotta do something!
What Piper did put time on our side.
Every day that goes by, more people think he's a synth, and the less support he has. If the election were today, he'd lose. We've just got to keep the pressure on. Keep pushing for action and answers on those kidnappings.
Did your child go missing, ma'am? I'm sorry about that, but I'm far too busy to talk. I'm the mayor, you know, but you have my thoughts and prayers.
Hey, DP! Hey, this dinner smells amazing. DP here, he does a killer mayor impersonation.
Citizens of Diamond City, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, humans and synths. My Institute programmers would like me to run a rebuttal software routine and offer a simulated response to Piper's unfounded accusations. And I promise you I will, the moment it finishes loading, which should be any sec. Ladies and gentlemen of Diamond City, the Institute would like me to I would like to say a few things regarding these rumors. My fellow human beings, of which I am definitely one. Since being elected, despite all of my words, actions, policies, thoughts, and decisions, I assure you, people of Name of City, I am not a level 5 Institute synth operative with special 4B clearance due to extreme depth of infiltration. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm far too busy doing things that human beings do to do my job and search for missing citizens. I'm the human mayor, after all. End of file. So I heard you guys over here talking about the jackass. Figured we could use a laugh. So yeah, thanks for coming out again, my friends. It's amazing how you always manage to show up for free food. Tonight, we got mom spaghetti, guaranteed to cure weak knees, heavy arms, and sweaty palms. Careful though, it may stain your shirt. I baked a well-timed batch of fresh hot bread just for dinner. But the tater sauce tonight is something special I worked on just for the occasion.
I gotta tell you, DP, I have never seen a spread like this. You went all out. Looks like the table the companions have in your Vasker Hall in Whiterun.
The what now?
Huh?
Yeah, what you just said. The what, a where? Who?
I didn't say nothing.
But I could swear you just said...
Better get your hearing checked, DP. Told you I ain't said nothing. You were gonna tell us about dinner tonight?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The sauce. Of course. I started with the potato base, of course. But Bob took me through the upper floor of a greenhouse and let me have that.
Nice!
Oh, it didn't end there, Lily. You know how Wellingham's always got some new spice he's going on about? Or a new dish he wants to try?
I remember hauling a bag of behemoth nuts in my power armor for him, so he could make his great green oysters dish.
It's called a scrotum, sis.
Ew, what the fuck? We're about to eat!
Sorry, just trying to help.
Yeah, I bet. Anyway, tell us about the sauce, DP. Where's Wellingham come into this?
Please do.
Behemoth scrotum.
God damn it!
You know, now that you mention it, Lily, it is kind of a strangely specific ingredient for a dish.
You see? I'm not the only one who thinks behemoth scrotum is a weird item to have to haul.
Huh? What is?
The behemoth scrotum... Oh, motherfucker! Great! Just great! Now I'm saying it.
Alright. Where were we? Oh yeah. So Wellham's always gone on about the crushed red pepper that Latimer got him a few months ago. So I figured this was a good occasion as any to borrow it. Permanently. Without asking.
My man!
Bob brings one of her
neodymium iron boron.
That was my next guess. Anyway, it's a strong-ass magnet.
Do I, wanna know what sort of strange blood-eating plant things you create with powerful magnets in that greenhouse of yours?
Hardly. It's to condense iron-rich microbeads coated with high-avidity molecules based on specific application. Generally, I use it to isolate, purify, and concentrate cellular fractions without the need for larger equipment and refrigeration units.
You know, I heard that people in other parts of the world spoke other languages, but I ain't never heard them. Not till you moved here with that technical babble, and then the sheriff shows up with that Latin stuff.
Scientia ipsa potentia est.
I don't try to understand neither, Lily. Anyway, she puts this thing on Wellingham's head. He immediately goes haywire. Tripped his Mr. Gutsy switch. But since he's got the wrong hardware, he basically just started screaming, "Communists!" and spraying everyone down with his dishwasher jet. Ann Codman runs out of that little corral of a restaurant screaming her head off. And of course, that dunce husband of hers runs after her. And since it's the Codmans, every security guard is more concerned with kissing her ass and helping than figuring out what's wrong with Wellingham.
Typical.
Haha, you're telling me. I've been saying it since I saw his mother drop him on his head. That Danny Sullivan kid is as useless as tits on a synth. Long story short, it was just us and a neutered Mr. Gutsy up there after a few seconds. I stuffed some spices into my jacket. Bob grabbed us a recipe box, and we were out of there. Real smooth. I hope. Wellington will probably be okay. Last I saw he was asking random strangers to enlist in the army.
Hell yeah! Score one more for the bleachers.
Thanks. I try. As I was saying, we got some extra kick in the sauce tonight with that pepper. I got some cloves, molasses, and cinnamon too. So the honey tonight is going to be unlike anything we ever had before. Make sure you get some of that on the bread too.
Really? Now this I'm interested in hearing.
Well, you know ghouls used to live in Diamond City before McDipshit kicked them out, right?
It was an extremely short-sighted maneuver. They possess immeasurable knowledge and experience. We could benefit from their wisdom.
I agree. I've never been able to talk to more than 2 in my life. It's amazing what they have to say if you just listen. Scapegoating a fringe minority is a time-honored tradition of weak politicians everywhere, DP. Of course I remember.
So I still keep in touch with a few through Doc Weathers. They moved to a big swimming pool facility one of them knew from before the war. The building was in pretty good shape, so they stayed in that and they farmed some of the best tarberries I've ever tasted out of the pool. Lily here would know who he was. Remember Wiseman and his buddies?
Sure do. You know, looking back, it doesn't surprise me he went his own way instead of heading the good neighbor with the rest of the ghouls.
Yeah, me either. He had his own ideas of what to do after McDipshit took office, and getting pissed off didn't seem to be one of them. Anyway, the short version of that story is the honey has some tarberry juice in it along with the rest of the spices. I think you'll like it.
That sounds delicious, DP. Thanks for going to so much trouble.
Hey, this is a happy occasion. We got a lot of doggos a new home, and these two got rid of a few more raiders. And don't forget the spices we got. Speaking of raiders, is it true what Lily said? Pop that fucker in the knee and let the dogs finish him off?
They had it coming.
It doesn't matter how we did it. Only the results matter.
That seems to be the general consensus around here. Very impressive, Lily. I knew you were crazy, but I didn't know just how crazy you were. I'm glad you did it. Even more glad you're on our side.
We punched the fuck out of their tickets so hard, their ghosts have gunshot wounds in their cleaned out ghost clocks on their fixed little red wagons.
Ah, that's my girl.
And Sheriff, you'll be proud to know that axe you gave me?
Tomahawk.
Thanks for noticing. Anyway, you'll be happy to know that thing can open a raider's brain case easier than it can open a melon.
Yes, I know.
Fine. Fine. DP's being friendly. DP, how's that thing that makes Nuka-Cola from those big weird bags you got coming? Well, what's it called? The soda whatever?
Fountain. Soda fountain. Well, it's looking pretty good, I think. I'm trying to get a handle on what parts I have and still need. Problem is, all the folks who knew how it worked are long dead. So I'm teaching myself as I go along, which makes it slow.
So it takes the stuff in that bag, mixes it with some of Bob's water, and gives it bubbles? All on the spot, right?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying. Got a few invoices telling me where more of the syrup is, but it's way over in Nuka World, surrounded by assholes with tiny dicks and big guns. So it makes sense to actually get the machine up and running, and able to use the stock I got on hand before paying someone to get more.
I think that sounds like a nice addition to the diner.
Yeah, it is. In more ways than one. I don't have to worry about a steady supply of sealed bottles now. One way or another, the supply of bottles in the area is going to dry up eventually, which just leaves me high and dry with no stock. But if nobody's touched what's at the factory, and the invoices are right, that's enough soda for years and years.
I don't know, that sounds like an awful lot of those bags.
It is, but not as much as you'd think. We ain't trying to feed a stadium during playoffs no more. But the sips who filled the order were. There's a lot fewer of us now, and I got a good handle on how many bottles I need a week to keep this place running. Trust me, Lil, there's enough to keep this place running for the rest of our lives.
Well, that sounds like some great news for the bleachers in general. Gonna upset Wellingham something fierce.
Codman's gonna get her ass in a twist, too. Up it stands, just some white picket fence. Anyway, what are we waiting for? Come on, guys, let's eat.
Now that is the best plan I've heard all day. And what a day it's been. Sorry about that. We don't mean to cut you out or anything, so dig in. I hope you like it. I ain't seen anywhere serving spaghetti, much less mom's spaghetti.
What are you talking about?
Nothing, I guess, if you're happy. Hope you like mom's spaghetti.
So what brings you to Diamond City? That Pip-Boy of yours is hard to miss, so I've got to ask if you're from a vault like me.
I'm from Sanctuary Hills, on the other side of Concord.
Not familiar with the place firsthand, but there's a lot of burnout towns around here with only a handful of people in each.
You get a chance to look at that motor you nabbed yet, Lily? Does it look like it still works?
Oh man, DP, it was better than that. The thing's never had anything in it but the factory finishing grease. They stored it dry in that case. There isn't a single bit of wear or tarnish on it. I just gotta find a frame and wheels pretty enough for that beauty and it's ready to roll.
Now you're talking. All the Matic cats are gonna be green with envy.
I asked Rizzo not to tell him. I want to be there to see the look on Zeke's face when he hears I scored the big one finally.
I ain't never seen a working vehicle yet. You be sure to let me know when you take it out for the first time. I want to be there.
You know, I wish I could drive it out there to the cats, but that bike makes me a loud target for snipers and steel cable traps at neck level. If you know what I mean. They're gonna cut my fucking head off. Gotta stay inside the fence for now, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from having fun and taking you all for rides.
That sounds like fun, once you get good control of that contraption, I mean. Remember, you've never driven one before. I'd think before taking the new one out, you can probably expect to crash a few times before you get the hang of it.
Oh, wow. You know, I never thought of that, Bob. You're right. I'm gonna treat the new merch like the jewel it is. At the same time, it means I gotta wait until the rest of the scrap one comes together. Good thing there's one at the Mass Chem Hall, huh?
Indeed. Just be careful out there. It's super mutant and raider turf.
No sweat. I'm packing light and just checking out the place for this first trip since we got no idea how big this thing is. I'll stay out of sight. You said that Lenny Greaseball sold you the tip about this haul, and the bike, right?
Yes. His tips have been reliable so far. I agree, I don't trust him, but it's not in his best interest to sell bad tips if he wants repeat business. On the other hand, he's probably sold the information to other parties too. You've seen it happen before. Don't waste too much time getting there.
No worries. It's the first place I'm going after I wake up tomorrow. Then I'll go back with the right rig for it. I should beat anyone to the score. You guys all heard about what the Institute did at the Slocum's Joe in Lexington, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, of course you know. There'd always been some folks living out of there in the basement. You'd have to be blind not to see them coming and going. No big deal, right? Well, not too long ago, the Institute marched their toasters into the place and wiped them out. They parked their asses in there and ain't moved since. It's weird, right? I mean, what the hell does the Institute want with a bunch of scavengers in a burnt-out coffee shop anyway?
Lucky you didn't get caught and have your head drilled out for the info.
Nah, I was on the freeway overpass to the south. Had to pop a few Raider melons to get the view, but hey, it sucks to be a Raider, you know? Anyway, I wasn't ever within 3 miles of them, and didn't need to be. They wiped that place out. Dead cold.
That's awful. Has anyone heard what they're doing there? Were they looking for something?
No, there, weren't any survivors to tell anyone. I'm really worried about the Atom Cats now. All the way out there by themselves. Between the Gunners in Quincy and the Institute in University Point, they're pretty well cut off from everyone non-asshole in the Commonwealth.
We need to find out what they were after at that Slocum's Joe. It could be important.
We already told you we got no issues with Rizzo moving in with you. If something happens to Zeke and his crew, tell them they can come here. Let them know we'll put them up in the storeroom for a bit if nothing else. We got enough hammocks for them all.
Thanks, DP. I'll let him know. I'm sure they can handle themselves against the Gunners, but the Institute? I just don't know. There's so many.
Speaking of Zeke and folks who grew up in Diamond City, Lil, you remember me telling you how some raider gangs took over Nuka World?
Yeah, of course. Seems it's all the couriers from out west can talk about lately. What about those jokers?
One of them gangs is headed up by some folks we both know. Remember Lizzie, Bill, and Mags?
No way.
Way. Carla remembered them from years ago when she heard about it, so she made it a point to tell Polly, who made it a point to tell me. I grew up and went to school with Mags and Billy. You ain't never met two bigger spoiled assholes in your life. Lizzie was more your age, right?
Yeah. She was a sharp one. She always got the best grades in the class, but she knew it. Made for a serious attitude problem. I remember it like it was yesterday. She kept getting bored and causing trouble, so Professor Scara took her out of school and into the lab. All Lizzie did with that training was make high-grade chems and get blasted on them. Too bad, really. What a waste. Mags, too. She used to babysit me before she turned into an asshole. I mean, she was an asshole back then, too, but nobody cared because we were kids.
Professor Scara told me about her once. That was her assessment as well. Lizzie could have done some truly great things, but had some serious demons.
Did she tell you why the three of them ain't in Diamond City no more?
She didn't mention that, no.
You see, these kids were upper stands kids. Their families had money. It's just that Mags and Billy thought it was their money too. But the parents weren't dying fast enough. So they got tied up in some organized crime they couldn't handle. A lot like Nelson Latimer. I'm assuming it had to do with chems, because they brought Lizzie in on it too. Lily wasn't lying about that girl being smart as fuck. Suffice to say, they got cut a lot of slack for a long time because of the family names. But eventually it got larger than even they could contain. You do gang business inside the city walls, and someone's gonna get killed. Except this time was an innocent girl named April.
April and me, we were good friends. I'd have killed those three on the spot if security hadn't gotten to them first.
I believe it.
She's not kidding, Bob. They literally had to put Lily in a holding cell for their protection. I saw it all. It took 3 guards to hold it down. Anyway, it seems Cap spiked justice in the wasteland too, because these kids got exiled instead of rotting inside a jail cell. They kept Lily locked up for a fucking week to give those 3 enough of a head start that she couldn't track him down and kill him. So much for Commonwealth justice.
Wasn't long enough of a head start. I know where they are. Now.
Yeah, at the head of a gang big enough to take and hold Nuka World. Patience, Lil. If that gang doesn't eat him alive, you will one day.
You goddamn fucking right I'll eat them alive for what they did to April. I'll be the last fucking thing those assholes see.
Ha! Hey, shoot Billy in the nuts for me while I can still feel it, could you?
Now there's a thought I can get behind.
You make a decision yet about taking over responsibility for that shit shack of a greenhouse across from Cronin's place down on the field, Bob?
I have, yes. I was flattered Geneva asked me to handle it, but I took some soil samples down there. It didn't look good. To be more accurate, after generations of growing the same crop and being sprayed down with the swill that Kowalski calls water, it's hopeless. There's nothing safe about that soil or anything that would leach into it from the immediate area. The place is completely contaminated.
Yikes! Me and Lily grew up eating that grub. Makes me glad I import from Abernathy Farm for the diner. Turning over the soil won't help none, huh?
Not really, given the surrounding soil and the continued use of Sheng's poison. The new topsoil layer, if not already contaminated, soon would be. I just don't have the time to rehabilitate that place. I'm not sure if I want to expose myself to that kind of radiation cleaning it up, either.
Well, I wish the city good luck with that place. I, for one, was very glad you moved into the bleachers. That news just makes me even more glad.
Thanks, DP. It's too bad, really, but my own work is far more important to feeding the entire Commonwealth. I can't lose sight of the larger goal.
People like you are going to help bring us out of this McDonough Dark Ages we're in.
That's for sure. Hey, you got like some sort of giant mega brain or something? You sure you ain't a robot?
So I heard something from Polly, who heard something from Myrna, who heard something from Carla the other day.
Oh yeah? What happened?
Carla was coming down from Sanctuary, and she usually steers clear of Concord. Well, with the Raiders and shit. I guess she saw something down in Concord with those binoculars of hers that made her take a second look and go into town. From what I hear, the place was basically a slaughterhouse. Every last one of them raiders was dead in the street, full of holes or cut to pieces.
Damn. I mean, that's good, but wow. What could have done that?
Power armor, a minigun, and a deathclaw.
Yeah. Polly said Carla saw a dead Deathclaw there. You heard it too, huh?
You know, one of these days you're gonna have to tell me how you know so much. Oh, wait, let me guess. One of your scouts saw it.
No.
Haha, forget it, Lily. You're soon to get a mutant hound to loosen its jaws. Anyway, Carla said some folks had moved in a sanctuary way up north by the Red Rocket after that. Said they were a real weird crew. Some guy who looked like he wanted to die, his whole hoppy bitch of a wife, and some old bat that kept feeding Quaaludes to so she'd shut up. Carla told her there was another guy up there who kept asking if she or anyone else he happened to see if they wanted to be leader of the Minutemen. Imagine the desperation.
It sounds like he's either a few fuel rods short of a reactor, or the Minutemen have ended up in some seriously bad shape, even in this world.
It is sad. The people of the Commonwealth will never truly rebuild until they take it back from their fear of the dark. When either DP or I leave the city, we have to book protection with one of the caravans. We're not fighters like you three. Vault 81 isn't terribly far away, but it might as well be on the other side of the Commonwealth for a scientist like me. I'd die without protection. All the Minutemen wanted was to organize the people to make that trip safe again.
She's right, you know. We don't want to be delivered at the hands of the BOS. I've seen it before.
One thing I learned real quick about Bob is that she's pretty much always right.
Indeed.
It's not something one wants to think about, but I haven't heard much about them in a while. Certainly not since the Quincy Massacre. If they truly did get stamped out, root and stem, we won't see anything like them in our lifetimes again. That walk to the vault will never be safe.
Oh, don't get me wrong, Bob. I agree with you. Diamond City would be filled with soup mutants if it wasn't for the Minutemen. I'm really hoping this guy was just a nutcase and isn't the last remaining one after Quincy or something. But things are pretty bad out there right now, and nobody's heard a peep. Which makes me think he's either telling the truth, or there's nobody left. And on the other side of the cap, you get people like Lily here, going around poking at raider hives, killing them wholesale and pissing them off.
Hey now, we don't take killing raiders lightly.
Oh yeah? How many of yours in just the last 2 days then? Give me a number.
Uh,
But that's exactly my point. Raiders may deserve what they get, but a desperate one that's just had his whole clan aired out is even worse.
So I don't have an issue killing murderers, rapists, and animal abusers. Sue me.
Not like I have a problem with it either. I wouldn't stop you from doing you, Lil. You wouldn't be the same.
It's not like you could stop me anyway.
There ain't a soul in the Commonwealth that could stop you, Lily.
That much is for certain.
Not even a behemoth scrotum could stop her.
God damn it! I thought we were past that.
No, I'll be holding that over your head for a good long while.
Pretty sure a behemoth scrotum isn't something I'd want hanging over my head for any length of time, Lily.
Ugh, all green, hairy, and slimy like that? The smell alone would kill most things. Did it smell bad, Lily?
Ew, fuck. I give up. I can't eat anymore. What the hell is wrong with you people, huh? You all on day tripper or something?
That's a yes if I ever heard one. Speaking of things that make us all hungry. I have to hand it to you, DP. You prepared an excellent meal tonight. This honey was a real treat. Thank you very much. But I'm full, the hour's getting late, and I've got some samples incubating, which means I've got yet more work ahead of me.
It's not every day something like this happens in the Commonwealth. It was a good reason to celebrate. You have a good night. See you tomorrow, Bob.
I've had a pleasant evening, everyone, as always. Thank you for your company tonight. Sleep well. I'll likely see most of you tomorrow.
Night, Babs. I'll check out that hole tomorrow for you.
I've got work to do as well. Good night, everyone. Thank you for the dinner. It was very good.
Of course, Sheriff. Have a good night now.
Night, Sheriff. I think I'm gonna retire too. Got at least one round trip to make to Cambridge tomorrow.
Hey, you be careful up there, Lily. A lot of raiders up Monsignor Plaza would love to get a hold of your jacket. Maybe even you personally by now.
Yeah, we kinda did make a name for ourselves this week, didn't we?
Couldn't agree more. I did good work, didn't I?
That's what I'm talking about, you two. You just ventilated a bunch of raiders for a motorcycle and something that they were making money off of. These guys ain't all dumb. Some of them make power armor out of trash. They'll know who did this. They're not the type to forgive and forget.
Jeez, yes, mother. Anyway, that's me for the night. Hey, thanks for coming out. I hope you like dinner. I'll see you around. Night, guys.
Night, Lily. Well then. Looks like that's dinner, huh? I hope you liked it. I served both the spaghetti and that honey here if you're interested in more. You'll excuse me. I got a lot of cleaning to do before I can close up for the night. You take care, my friend.
Of course.
Good day to you. Sir? Hello there. Sir?
Oh!
Let's get this over.
That's it. I'm skipping the arrest part.
Just what I was hoping for. Trundling around looking for something that wants to blow me to flinders.
Oh!
My God, if I had hands, I'd strangle the life out of you.
Locked tight.
Heard what you said about Diamond City.
Someone calls over here!
Time to negotiate.
Security! Security! Someone help me!
I see you. Get the fuck over for
your ass whooping. Who taught you this? Ow! Ooh!
Who taught you to? Grandmother? Time to smooth out the squares. Ow!
Motherfucker!
That's it. I'm skipping the arrest part. You're dead.
Hey there.
I'm sorry. Too many late-hour customers forced me into a business schedule. Catch me in my greenhouse during my business hours, 7 to 6.
There's the coolest customer in the bleachers.
Can I ask you some questions?
Shoot!
Got any work?
Yeah. Remember? We're in the middle of some work? Freaking chemheads.
Heard any good rumors?
You know that radio transmitter always blaring that stupid commercial song for Nuka World over and over? It turns out Diamond City had one too. Someone had to put a stop to that shit after 200 years. So me and DP wired the Dyna jukebox tracks over the transmitter instead. So now you got the left field Dyna jazz station. You know, instead of a 30-second repeating nightmare like some fucked up 200-year-old Groundhog Day.
So, what's your story?
The name's Lily. Adam. I used to I began most of my...
Don't need anything today.
Later on, then.
Excuse me.
Our traveler returns. You want to hear about my work? It should only take the next 2 hours.
Let's get down to business.
You get right to the point, don't you? Okay then, let's try to come to some sort of agreement.
Got any work?
Of course. That urea was invaluable, but the soil is still deficient in several nutrients, including phosphates. Right now, the next step in my soil treatment is adding phosphorus to my seedling soil with monoammonium phosphate. I've been buying chemical fire extinguishers from merchants and using the monoammonium phosphate in them, but I really need a higher purity and larger quantities.
Just tell me what you need help with.
Excellent. Like the urea, you'll find monoammonium phosphate in chemical warehouses and large-scale farms. You might also find high-purity monoammonium phosphate in food manufacturing sites, like bread, animal feed, and beverage makers.
Who?
to trade, relax, or do you have some questions?
Let's get down to business.
You get right to the point, don't you? Okay then, let's try to come to some sort of agreement.
Got any work?
Of course. That urea was invaluable, but the soil is still deficient in several nutrients, including phosphates. Right now, the next step in my soil treatment is adding phosphorus to my seedling soil with monoammonium phosphate. I've been buying chemical fire extinguishers from merchants and using the monoammonium phosphate in them, but I really need a higher purity and larger quantities.
Fine. Just point me in the right direction.
Excellent. Like the urea, you'll find monoammonium phosphate in chemical warehouses and large-scale farms. You might also find high-purity monoammonium phosphate in food manufacturing sites, like bread, animal feed, and beverage makers.
Sir? Hello there.
What?
Don't be caught dead!
You.
Lock's really strong. Security's too good. That's it. Got it.
Always on good behavior, aren't you?
Hacking this is beyond me. Lock tight.
Show us that underbelly.
Won't be able to pick this. Can't break the code.
Here's hoping they don't come back.
Don't think I can pick this.
Always on good behavior, aren't you?
I try to be.
Seems like you're doing better than trying. I appreciate it. Too few folks can be bothered. Of course, in my experience, if you want to do real good, playing nice only gets you so far. I mean, look at Diamond City. A place I've been trying to warn of real danger. But every issue I publish, all I hear is, "Oh, Piper, why don't you ever publish anything happy? Piper, why can't you write something nice for a change?" It's enough to make me want to hang up my hat some days.
Sounds like it must be exhausting.
No kidding. But people, they deserve to know the truth. Sure, it can be scary, knowing what's really out there. A night doesn't go by, I'm not afraid some Institute drone will decide today's the day to pay old Piper and family a visit. But it's worth it, because I know the truth. That's what protects us.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. How can you protect you and yours if you don't know what you're facing?
Exactly. Most folks, though, they'd prefer a comforting lie. Not me.
If you like your limbs, I keep my distance.
Always on good behavior, aren't you?
I try to be.
Seems like you're doing better than I appreciate, of course. I mean, look at Diamond. Oh, Piper, why don't It's enough to make me want to...
Sounds like it must be exhausting.
No kidding. But people, they deserve to know the truth. Sure, it can be scary, knowing what's really out there. A night doesn't go by, I'm not afraid some Institute drone will decide today's the day to pay old Piper and family a visit. But it's worth it, because I know the truth. That's what protects us.
You'd really risk your family like that?
I'm not saying it's without its consequences, but in my experience, it's worth it. I've seen firsthand what the truth can do. My sister and I, we grew up way out in the Commonwealth. Tiny little settlement. Our dad, he was part of the local militia. Keeping the raiders off our backs and the mirelurks out of our latrines, as he'd describe it. Well, one day, our dad turns up dead. His captain, asshole named Mayburn, claims raiders must have gotten him on watch. Well, I didn't buy it. I start making inquiries. Turns out, the captain, he'd sold out. Thought he wasn't getting paid enough to babysit the town. He was gonna leave the gates open one night. Let a group of raiders sack the place and take a cut of the profits. My dad found out and was gonna turn Mayburn in, but Mayburn got to him first. And I wasn't about to let that bastard get away with murder. I tried talking to the mayor, but he wouldn't listen. So, I papered the entire town in posters. Wanted for gross dereliction of duty, Captain Mayburn. The mayor sure wanted to talk after that. The town threw Mayburn out on his ass and were dug in when a very surprised group of raiders finally showed.
Piper, you saved those people.
No. Those people saved themselves. Because they knew the truth. But hey, I'm sorry if I've been rambling. I just get fired up sometimes. It's just nice to talk to someone who actually seems to get it, you know? So, should we head out?
No way I could pick this. Lock's really strong.
What's that? Gonna be a good fight! You hit like a rat.
See you.
Now suffer for your arrogance! You humans! So stupid! So weak!
It's on!
What the hell was that?
Keep moving, Scatter.
Got too much dirt in that hair? Get it trimmed. You won't regret it.
Well, look. Diamond City's #1 troublemaker. Oh, I got my eye on you.
Officer?
Jeez, pal. I like guns, too. But you think you might be overcompensating there?
Hey, Bob. How'd work go today?
Save me. One of the visitors to the greenhouse started poking around the beehive today. Got what they deserved.
Ah, I bet. You don't come across stupid on that level every day, do you?
No. No, you do not. The screaming alone was a nightmare, not to mention all the complaining afterwards. I told her. I warned her. Anyone listen to the scientist? No, of course not. What the hell could I possibly know about my own work, right? That brainiac wants to sue me for pain and suffering. I ask you, do you see a lawyer anywhere? Maybe a court of law? Because I sure as shit don't.
Whoa, slow down there. I ain't never heard you curse. First thing you need is a glass of your own meat.
That's the smartest thing I've heard all day.
You ready for another good idea? Here's some dinner on the house tonight. Get some of that in you. See you in the greenhouse later?
Thanks, DP. You always know just what I need. Yes, of course I'll be there.
So, how hopeful are you for the future?
Our wasteland adventurer returns. And with the monoammonium phosphate.
Thank you again.
I have your payment right here.
Here it is.
Here's your payment. I'd offer a tour of the greenhouse, but I'm afraid I have another, more pressing issue. Some time ago, I hired a scaver, Lenny, to find another compound, anhydrous ammonia. This dangerous substance is caustic, explosive, and flammable. So I only hired him to locate it and report back. I had intended for Lily to actually transport the pressurized cylinders. She's done it before, but I haven't heard back from her in a while, and I can't find Lenny anywhere in Diamond City at the moment. He's probably out scavenging. It's too horrible to think, but there's a chance she might have run into trouble out there.
Why would you say something like that?
This isn't the first time I haven't heard back when trying to get anhydrous ammonia. One time I could consider it a bad courier, but twice now is too much coincidence. What's more, that's Lily we're talking about. She wouldn't double-cross anyone from the bleachers. I'm really worried about Lily. I just want to make sure she didn't run into raider trouble. As tough as she is, she's out there all alone, without her power armor.
You think raiders might have done this?
It's possible. Anhydrous ammonia is used to synthesize pure jet and psycho. Nearly all of the chems these days are made on a stovetop. They're less effective, and there's no quality control. Smart raiders sometimes figure out how to synthesize them from pure compounds. I need you to find out what happened to Lily and track it down to the end. It's not like her not to report back.
Don't worry, I'll find her.
See if she's there, then retrieve any anhydrous ammonia that's left. It will be very heavy, so prepare accordingly. More importantly, Lily is my best friend. We're like sisters, so I'm worried about her. Find her first.
just an ordinary piece of wood. The swatter is a custom-made piece of genuine hickory.
Shop in safety. No synths allowed at the surplus. You? I don't know you. Just keep your distance.
Keep calm. I'm standing still.
That's exactly what a synth would say. But I don't know. Are you really, human?
Human as the day I was born.
Well, you do look human enough. But I'll be watching you. All right. We can do business, but no funny stuff.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Odds and ends.
You come from across the Charles?
Lucky hit! Don't you die on me!
Why don't you just die?
What is it?
Hey, you're in one piece. You're gonna fucking pay for that! Scared, huh? Should be. No need to hide.
Find
It'll all be over soon.
Oh, I know you're here. I'll find you. No sign of him now.
Combat initiated.
Open fire! Come on, little girl. Let's do this! Come on, pin him down!
got a line on him?
I must
More, huh?
Institute, you must be destroyed.
Give up now, I'll make it quick.
Life signs detected.
What the?
Now I'm mad! That was better than expected. Peekaboo!
Now it's on. Who's there? Fucking hide from me? You're dead!
Thanks, Blue.
Me. Ah, my leg! Ah, don't you die on me! Ah! These people! Head up! Keep off you! Think something.
Hey! Oh, hell no!
Regrettable occurrence.
Don't quit, do you?
Disappearing act, huh?
What the?
Find him, kill him!
I was having fun!
Where'd that little fucker go?
You must be terminated.
Fucker!
Contact detected. Possibly.
Found ya! That's all of them.
This radiation, the better.
Can't believe I'm posted outside the door. We gotta get out there somehow. You come from across the Charles? Long night.
If you're heading outside the wall, you want to stock up on Commonwealth weapons.
Look, just leave me alone.
You're back, and with a large tank of anhydrous ammonia. Did you find Lily?
Do you really want to know? It's not good news.
No. Please, not that. She's
already dead.
Oh my god. My little sister. No.
I'm sorry.
Was it the raiders, like I feared?
Those raiders are already yesterday's news. Thanks to yours truly.
Thank you. I was holding out hope, but deep down, I knew better. Thanks for bringing back the ammonia, despite it all. I'll need to tell DP about this. He's gonna be heartbroken. He's known her for decades. He was talking about needing someone to do some work for him yesterday at lunch. I told him I'd mention it to you. Maybe go ask him? Just... please let me tell him about Lily. It's best if it comes from a friend. That's all I ask. Thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I just lost a family member. I need to be alone for a while. Please.
I understand how you feel. I lost someone too.
Good day to you,
Won't be able to pick this.
sir.
Locked tight.
Sir?
Don't think I can pick this. No way I could pick this. Hey. Lock's really strong. Excuse me.
Hey, looks like you got my message. Dr. M said I could borrow you for a while. I was wondering if you'd like to do a few jobs for me. I'm finally ready to get that soda fountain I mentioned at dinner up and running, once I get the parts I need.
Just tell me what you need help with.
Really? That's great news. I've been too busy running the diner all day to go digging through the city for all these soda fountain parts and supplies. The first thing I'm gonna need is a soda fountain itself. It may or may not have the plumbing attached to it. If it does, try to salvage all of it. I'm not sure where you're gonna find all this shit, but I'll mark the diners and restaurants I know on the map on your do pip hickey thing, boy. Then we can talk about the rest of the parts, supplies, and recipes. Should be more fun than a Brahmin with diarrhea. I got one of those too.